Hey, Warrior Saints, happy Wednesday. Welcome to our Crucifixional live stream. Father Chris here, glad to have you lovely people with us today. We are in the midst of chaos. That's what we've been talking about all week. We started on Monday with the the overcoming of chaos by God in creation in Genesis 1, where there's this darkness and this deep, this tohu wabohu, this chaos. And God says, I got it. And he takes control of it, separating the dark from the light and separating the waters from the waters. It's a powerful statement to say that God is in control. And it is further revealed to us in Scripture when Peter, who is a rock by the definition of the meaning of his name, walks on water as long as he's looking at Christ. The minute he looks at the chaos, down he goes, which we talked about yesterday. It's a powerful story for us in Matthew 14, as Jesus shows his control over the chaos and walks on the water towards the boat in the midst of the storm. So too can his disciples, those who are aspiring to become warrior saints, by focusing on Christ and not the chaos. And so as we kind of reflect on all that kind of stuff, I want to spend the last 3 days this week, today and the next two, to talk about overcoming the chaos in areas of our lives. One of them being internally. The second one being in our relationships with people that we are, close with. And the third might be in whatever environment we work in, or maybe let's just say generically the world. We'll save that to the last day. Internal overcoming of chaos, to find the peace that we're looking for, requires that we imitate Peter. Now remember that verse from Matthew 14 that we talked about yesterday. And when he saw the wind, right? And it's kind of a silly story because how do you see wind, right? But Matthew is telling us he was looking at Jesus and conquering, overcoming that chaos, walking on water. But then he diverted his attention. It was like as if he could feel the chaos around him, the wind and the noise screaming. And like when you're like, don't look, don't look, don't look. You want to put like blinders on like a horse, so that you can only look ahead. But the temptation is so great that you're just like, and you can't help it, and you look away, and down he goes. That's the same message I want to give to us today. As warrior saints, aspiring warrior saints who are trying to find that peace in our lives, is essential that we don't focus on the chaos. It's everywhere. So you're going to say, Father Chris, what are you talking about? How do we do that? Because it is everywhere. It is. Right? But we want to have, and it's a constant, a perpetual, persistent shift of our vision from the chaos back to Christ. Away from the storm, back to Christ. It's constant. You have to be deliberate. You have to make, the staunchest of efforts to continually be refocusing back on Christ. I'm going to tell you something about myself, like as a kind of a pseudo confession. Look, I got swept away in the chaos as well. Years ago, and we won't pick on too many former presidents and all that election cycle and that kind of stuff, but you all know that was chaos, right? And it's going to happen again in 2 more years when it starts. Well, maybe start even before that, right? The chaos is coming, and I got swept up in it, not because I'm political. Like, I'm not even registered to vote. I don't care. I'm not on either team. But the draw of that chaos was so strong that I got lost in it. And I was reading the news and I was looking at, whatever everyone was posting on Facebook. Thank God I never posted any of that crap myself or responded. I don't deal with that stuff. But I was like, it caused like a dissonance in my soul and my heart. I was like, holy cow, what is going on? Like I was like, let's just say it, like everyone else, I was angry, right? But I didn't like it. I didn't like that chaos. I wanted the peace. I wanted my heart, my mind, my soul to be centered, just so that I could exhale and breathe. And the only thing that helped me do that was taking my attention from the chaos back to Christ. What I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, you've got to stop looking at us. Like for me, it just means like I don't read any news hardly ever. And I mean, like when I say hardly ever, maybe 3 times a year will I actively type in a news website to go see what's going on in the world, right? Divert your attention from it. It's there. It's happening. If something as amazing, or as I say amazing, or tragic as 9/11 happens, you'll know, right? But the rest of it, do you need to know? Does it really make a difference in your world other than to produce that chaos? Stop looking at it. And I only pick on the news just as a placeholder for us. What's chaos in your life? What's the heavy things that you continually focus on that are taking you off of The main focus, the only focus, Christ himself, living a crucifixional life. You've got to decide that. I mean, I can't answer that for you. You have to be honest with yourself and say, what is it? What is it that is causing me to look away and not focus on Christ? Once you identify that, then we're going to give you a plan on how to overcome it, right? Because it's not going to go away. And you're not going to be able to destroy the world's chaos. I mean, the world will always be like that, the devil's playground, right? But for us as warrior saints, people who are striving to become warrior saints, we have to learn how to overcome that chaos. And we do that by walking on the way of the warrior saint. It's a path. That's what the way of the warrior saint is. It's a lifestyle, right? It's not a destination that we may ever even reach except for God's grace, right? Like it's a path that we walk on, a continual striving to live crucifixionally, to imitate Christ. That's the conqueror of the chaos. That's the restorer of order. And for you, like me, if you want to get out of that chaotic storm on the waters and stop sinking and find that peace, join us on the way of the warrior saint. It's pretty simple. It ain't easy, but it's pretty simple. I mean, like there's not a lot of complicated parts to it. It's a matter of your relentless dedication to it and your guidance, if you will, by the gospel itself that we work hard to make clear and relevant in your lives. This is why every day we beg you to visit warriorsaints.org. We're changing lives. God is changing lives, perhaps through the hard work that we put forward, but lives are being changed, and there's always room for more. Are you ready? You want to stop the chaos? You want to overcome the chaos? You want to find that peace? That what you're looking for? It's pretty simple. Join us on the way of the warrior saint. We love you, beautiful people. We will be back again tomorrow for some more teaching. And as always, until then, keep walking on the way of the warrior saint.